because it's going to be in my Shabbat. State your registry.
Quadat, Ban Yahweh, Ban Yasral,
Kodat Ban Yahweh the Ban Yasha'Allah.
Yahweh Hashem, Yahshua Barakatah.
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Barakatah. Come on, man. It's
La Yahshua.
La Yasha'Allah. Al-Madim, which means to stand. Wa Panyaha Kwadam, and face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kwadash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Natalanawa, Lakam, Cow, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawaf Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawaf Yanawa, Wala'a, Tabaya'a Nawa, Banasayawa, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Waha'ala, Watapara, La Iwalamyam, Aman, in the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Hakak, the power in the Hebrew, Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Babu Kwashat, Latalanawa, Hakak, Larabaa, Kal Machala, Wakal Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Hamadazariah, Hakak, Lahakwayim, Hamathim, Hakak, Al-Bakhawa, Hatma'ala, Lagarashan, Ba'Shem Yahushua, the water among, in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew, Asha'a, Ayanya, All Haharyim, Ma'ayan, Yaba'a, Isaiah, Ma'ai, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemaiah, Wa'arataza, Al Yatan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shawamor Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yad, Yamyinka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamorka,
Yashamor,
Makau Rai,
Macau Rai,
Yashamor,
Yashamor,
Afnapashka,
After Pasha,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamor,
Yashamor,
Tazaaka,
Taza'afka,
Waba Wa'aka,
Wabba Wa'auka,
Maeta, Wa'ai, I will love
I will love
Aman.
Aman.
In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills,
I will lift up my eyes into the
from
hills,
which cometh my help.
from which cover my help.
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help coming from
which
Yahweh,
made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth
will
thee
not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve
from
thee
all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in,
and thy coming in.
from this time forth
From this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
So be it.
So be it.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al damaya laka.
Al Gamanat Malaka.
Salakit. Al damaya laka.
Al Gamaya Laka.
Al the Korash.
Al the Korash.
Wa al the Shakwat.
Wa al Dashakwat.
Al
Al
Kayahana.
Kayahana.
Awayab yaka.
Our Yahweh.
Yahama yawan.
Yahama Yawan.
Wamashanayaka.
Woman Shanayaka.
Nasha'awa.
Nasha'al.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al Imaka.
Al Aim.
Ya Irayamwa.
Ya Ayuwa.
So- Sawad.
Sawad.
Wayata Ya'ai Tazawa.
Where you put your eye to the one.
Al Tazapawanyaka.
Out to the one for cut.
Amorwa.
Amoria.
Lakawa.
Cow.
Wanakakidam.
When the cock is
Magoya.
Magoria.
Wala'a.
Wala.
Yazakar.
Yes, a car.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Shum Yasha'al.
Aiwad.
I wa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa'ai Tazawa.
No, I to the
La.
La.
Yakadwa.
Lakagwa.
Awyaka.
Auyaka.
Barya.
Baria.
Yakaratwa.
Yakarafia.
Like a Yakaratwa.
Yakaraf.
Ahoya.
Ahoy.
Adawam.
Adawa.
Wayashama Ilayam.
Woman Shamayayu.
Mawa'aba.
Mawab.
Wahagoya. Gabal. Wa'imawad. Wa'imalak.
Malak.
Palashak.
Palashak.
Am Yashabya.
Al Yashab.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Gum Ashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Imam.
Amman.
Hayawa.
Hayu.
Zawawat.
Zabawat.
Labanya Lawat.
Labunyi Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Aishalaham.
Ashalaham.
Kamadyan.
Kamadyan.
Kasayasara'a.
Kasaya. Samaria.
Kayabyan.
Kayab.
Banahal.
Banakal.
Koyashwan.
Koyash.
Nashamadwa.
Yashamad.
By Ayanda Ara.
Bayayan do Yadara.
Hayawa.
Hayu.
Daman.
Daman.
La Adama.
Shla Adam.
Shayatamwa.
Shayathamwa.
Narayamawa.
Nayab Mawa.
Ka'ira.
Kayara.
Wakazaaba.
Wakazaab.
Wakazabak.
Wakazabak.
Wakazazalmanai.
Wakazamina.
Wakaltazalmanai.
Wakazamina.
Kal.
Ka.
Nasiyakamwa.
Nessa Yakamwa.
Ashar.
Ashur.
Amora.
Amora.
Nayarasha.
Nayarashad.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Na'awa.
Naawa.
Alahaya.
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 Shayatamwa.
Shayathamwa.
Kagaugala.
Kagawa.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapanya Raha.
Lapanya Rakha.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Daba Ira Ya'ira.
Double Ra'ayat. Ra'ayat.
Like it. Daba Ira Ya'ira.
Double Ivor. Ya'ayat.
Ya'ira. So Daba Ira Ya'ira.
Double Ra'ayat.
Oh, it's like it. Daba Ira Ya'ira.
Double Ayat. Ya'ayat.
Wakalahaba.
Wakala Abba.
Talahat.
Salah.
Horgan.
Howard.
Khan.
Khan.
Daradakma.
The Redatma.
Basa Iberka.
Basa Irish.
Wabasawapaka.
Wubba Subba with Paka.
Daba Halam.
Double Habla.
Mala'a.
Mala'a.
Hanyaham.
Hanya.
Kwalawad.
Kwalawan.
Wayabakwashwa.
Wubba Yquash.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahweh.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Wayabahalwa.
Wubba Yahweh.
Aya'ai.
Ay.
Wayahaparwa.
Where you Kapor.
Waya Abadwa.
Where you Abad.
Waya Da'aiwa.
Where you Da'ai.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Afa. Shamka. Yahweh. Lababka. Al Yuwan.
Al you want.
Al Kal.
Ka.
Ha'arataza.
Rakaza.
Aman.
Amon.
In the English, Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
For lo,
For lo,
thine enemies make a tumult.
for lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation,
and let us cut them off from being a nation.
that the name of Israel
In the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites,
of Moab,
of Moab,
and the Hagarees,
and the Hagarees,
Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
Philistines,
with inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Asher also is joined with them.
Asher also joined with them.
They have opened the children of Lot.
They have opened the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah,
do unto them
do unto them,
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as unto Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as unto Jabin,
at the brook of Kassan,
at the brook of Kassan,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at
They
Endor.
became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make the nobles like Ored,
Make their nobles like Oreb,
and like Zahid,
and like Zahid.
yea,
Yea,
all their princes,
all their princes,
as Zabah,
as Zabah,
and as Amunah,
and Zamunah,
who said,
who said,
Let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
O my power,
O my power,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wood,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth for wood,
as the fire burneth for wood,
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
and as the flame setteth the mountain on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
And so persecute them with thy tempest,
and make them afraid with thy storm.
and make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shade,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek that.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded
let them be confounded
and troubled forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name
is
alone
Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the Most High
art the Most High
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
So be it.
So be it.
The blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
wa Yahweh Shah,
wa Yahweh Shah,
wa ma Yaka'ala,
Wama Yaka'ala,
wa Alahayim,
Wel Alahaya,
Matazab Ya'ah,
Matazab Yahweh,
Alawat Yahana,
Alawat Yahana,
Ha Alawatyim,
Ha Alawat Yam,
Ha Saranyim,
Ha Saranyam,
Ha Quatazayanyim,
Ha Kutizayamyam,
Ha Chayayalyim,
Ha Kagiyayam,
wa Ha Agwafyim,
Wa Akawafyam,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
by Shem Yahweh Shah,
Shem Yahushua,
the water
the
month
water Amar.
in the English. Bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh,
and Yahweh Shah,
and Yahushua,
and Mike,
and Mike,
and the angel,
and the angel,
commanding General Yahana,
commanding General Yahana,
the general,
the general,
the captain,
the captain,
the officer,
the officer,
the troopers,
troopers,
and the sisters.
and the sisters.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh
in
Shah,
the name of Yahushua,
thank you,
so
be it.
be it.
Let's get the blessings in the Hebrew. Bless Israel in the Hebrew. Salaki. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
by Shem Yahweh Shah,
Shem Yahushua,
Barak Lanawa,
Barak Renaw,
wa Yasha'ala,
Wa Yashala,
Wahab Bayaf Sapaya,
Wahab Bayah Sapari,
Barak,
Barak,
Rapah,
Rapah,
Hagun, it's like a Magun,
Magun,
Hagun,
Hagun,
by Shem Yahweh Shah,
Shem Yahushua,
the water of mud.
the water of Mount.
What we just said, just me, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones in the name of Yahweh Shah. All right, thank you. So be it. Sar, which means to turn. Right, Yeshavyim, which means now we can be seated. So Shalom Israel with the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge. Started at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahana. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group, but any other Christian organization. All right. So we're going to get into these scriptures. All right. We left off in the book of Joshua. It's so important to attend this Sabbath service, man, that this is where you learn your history. This is where you learn your culture. This is where you learn who you are. All right. And this is where you can learn the Hebrew language and hear it being said. Right. It's so important for our people to learn how to speak the Lashon Kodash and how to speak this language, how to speak the Hebrew language. Like, this is who we are. This is a part of our culture and the traditions that the Lord passed down to us. Hebrew is the language of the Lord. All right. That's what Hebrew is. Lashaman Kodash is the language that Christ spoke. The priests and prophets of the Lord spoke. All the priests and prophets of the Lord spoke Hebrew because that was the culture of the Israelites. That was the culture of the Jews. God knows how to speak Hebrew. All right. Them angels know Hebrew. So it's very important for us to learn how to speak Hebrew fluently. So we're gonna start with at verse 15. All right. We're in the book of Joshua, right? The book of Joshua, chapter 1, or Yahweh Shai Parak Achad. All I said was chapter 1, Joshua chapter 1 in the Hebrew. So Yahweh Shai Parak Achad wa Hamash Aishara, which is we're in verse 15. Let me see. Waya Amar Lawa Habal Laya Baraka Kaya Arataza Banagab, it's like a Banagab, Nathafnaya, Wanathafa Laya, Wala, it's like a Galaf, Mayam, Wayathan Laha, Laha, Kalab, it's like a Kalab, Galaf, Al Yatha, it's like an Al Yah, Wa'ah, Galaf, the Chaf, yeah. Verse Shasha Aishara, verse 16. All right, verse Shasha Aishara. Wabanya, Koyanya, Wabanya, the Ha, like a Khatan Masha, Alwa, Ma'ayar, it's like a Ma'ayar, Hathamar, it's like a Hathamaryam, Banya, Yahawada, Madabar, Yahawada, Ashar, Banagab, Irab, it's like a Irad, Wayalak, Wayashab, Ha'ayim. Verse Shabai Aishara, which is verse 17. All right. Wayalak Yahawada Shemayawan, Akyawa. It's like Akyawa. Wayakawa Hakana'anya. Wahakanaim. It's like it. Hakana'anya. That's Canaanites. Wakana'anya. Wayashab Tazapah. It's like a Tazapah. Wayachar Yamwa. Our Karam, so like it. Wayakara Yamwa, right? Wayakara Yamwa. Awafa. Actually, that's still pronounced as Aha. Wayakara Sham. Ha'ayor. Harama. Verse Shamarna. Shamarna. It's like a Shamarna. Verse Shamarna Aishara, which is verse 18. Wayalakad Yahawada Aiza Wa'at Gabawala Wa'at Ashakwalal. It's like a Shakwalwan. Ashakwalwan. Wa'at Gabawala Wa'at Aikwar. It's like a Aikwarwan. Wa'at Gabawal. Like it. Wa'at Gabawal. It's like it. Wa'at Gabawala. Going to verse 21. We have the Shai Aishara. The Shai Aishara, which is verse 19. Wayahaya Yahawah. It's like it. Wayahaya Yahawah Af Yahawada. Wayarash. It's like it. Wayarash Af Hahar Kaya La'ah Lahawar. It's like a Lahawariyash. It's like a Yarash. Rayash. It's like it. Lahawariyash. Yashab, Yashabya, Ha'aimat, Kaya, Rakab, Ba'izal, it's like it Barazal, Laham. Verse Asherayim, which is verse 20. Verse Asherayim. Wayathunwa, La Kalab, Kabar wan, Ka'ashar, Dabar, Mashah, Wayawar, it's like it, Wayawarash, Wayawarash. All right, Masham, Shalash, Banya, Ha'ainak. Verse Achad Asherayim. That's verse 21. All right, verse Achad Asherayim. Wa'af Hayabawasya. Yashab. Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim La'ah. Hawayash. Like it. Hawarayashwa. Banyamyan. Wayashab. Like it. Wayashab. Hayabawas. Hayabawashya, Banyamyan, Bayawal, Sakir, Bayarashalam, Yashawam, Hazah. All right, it's like a Hazah. All right, that's the first 7 verses. All right, go ahead and get me Judges chapter 1, starting from verse 15 in the Hebrew biblical, in the English biblical shop.
God, this is the verse of Judges chapter 1, verse 15. And she said unto him, give me a blessing, for thou hast given me a south land. Give me also springs of water. And Caleb gave her the upper springs and the nether springs.
So now this is Caleb's daughter. Now there was a man of war who earned a sister. All right, you always want to earn a sister. Not everyone is fit to be a husband. All right, that may not be your expertise. Now, in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we teach brothers how to be men of the Lord and how to run their house and to be good and great husbands. That's what we teach back here. All right, in the Christian church, you're not going to get that. So this is Caleb's daughter, and she is asking of her father that this is what she wants, etc., etc. Go to the next verse.
Verse 16. And the children of the Kenite, Moses' father-in-law, went up out of the city of palm trees with the children of Judah into the wilderness of Judah, which lieth in the south of Arad. And they went and dwelt among the people.
So this is where the Canaanite people went and lived. This is where they stayed. Go ahead. Verse 17.
And Judah went with Simeon, his brother.
It said what?
And Judah went with Simeon, his brother.
Go ahead.
And they slew the Canaanites.
They did what?
They slew the Canaanites.
They did what?
They slew the Canaanites.
Like the Lord is a man of war. The Lord, it said what?
They slew the Canaanites.
The Lord is about conflict. It said what?
They slew the Canaanites.
The Lord is about fighting and conquering. What did the Lord say?
They slew the Canaanites.
Like we have to understand, God isn't about all love. The Lord is a man of war, like the Bible says he is. And the Lord is about conflict and battling and fighting. All right. We went into the land of Canaan because this was the land that the Lord promised our forefathers and not anyone else. And the Lord does not give to whatever about these other nations. All right. The Lord loved Israel. And that's why the Lord is dealing with Israel to this day. All right. Continue reading now.
That inhabited Zephath.
Go ahead.
And utterly destroyed it.
Did what?
And utterly destroyed
like
it.
This is what we did because we were soldiers. We were militant. We were men of war. We were about battling and conflict, just like the Lord is about battling and conflict. Go ahead.
And the name of the city was called Hormah.
Was called what?
Hormah.
Go ahead.
Verse 18. Also Judah took Gaza with the coast thereof.
Go ahead. So this is also what they took. Go ahead.
And Ascalon, the coast thereof.
Go ahead.
And Ekron with the coast thereof.
And these are all the towns and cities that we got, all right, when we went to war with these other nations. All right, go ahead.
Verse 19. And the Lord was with Judah.
It said what?
And the Lord was with Judah.
The reason why the Lord was with Judah, because we are at this time, we are obeying what the Lord is saying to do. And we are following his laws, statutes, and commandments. The Lord showed us in Joshua, if you did not obey the Lord's commandments, the Lord was not going to be with you. We went over that. All right. Remember when the brother took the accursed thing and he had the Babylonian garment? The Lord was not with us. We went to the previous chapter. All right. Before that chapter, we went to war. Right. With, I believe it was either the Jebusites or the Perizzites, one of those nations, the Canaanites, whatever the case, or the Hivites. We were going to war with them, and we went back running because we lost that. We lost that battle because we did something that the Lord told us not to do. We touched the accursed thing. And so because of so, the Lord was not with us. And so Joshua was like, man, what's going on here? We lost men here. What's going on? We were winning we were winning every battle and every war. Why did we end up losing this one? That's because we decided to not obey and follow the Lord. That was a lesson to us that we, in order for the Lord to be with us, we have to obey him and we have to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments and do exactly what he says to do. Go ahead.
God. And the Lord was with Judah, and he drave out the inhabitants of the mountain.
Go ahead.
But could not drive out the inhabitants of the valley.
Go ahead.
Because they had chariots of iron.
Because they had what?
Chariots of iron.
They had what?
Chariots of iron.
I want everyone to remember this right here. It said what?
Chariots of iron.
I want you to remember these exact words.
Chariots of iron.
Because we're going to go over it. I want to say give it 3 more Sabbaths, give about 4 to 5 more Sabbath services, and we're going to hear about these chariots of iron again, all right? Go ahead.
Come on. Verse 20. And they gave Hebron unto Caleb.
They said what?
And they gave Hebron unto Caleb.
Go ahead.
As Moses said.
Go ahead.
And he expelled thence the 3 sons of Anak.
And this is exactly what he did. He expelled them. Go ahead.
Verse 21. And the children of Benjamin did not drive out the Jebusites.
It said what?
And the children of Benjamin did not drive out the Jebusites.
Now, this is going to become an issue. And the Lord is going to show us how this is going to become an issue. Now, of course, any brother that comes to class and understands and that may know how could this be an issue? Can you give me a reason how that could be an issue?
Salakia, because they didn't drive them out because they were not good people to be around.
Okay, not okay. Why is it an issue that we did not drive them out?
Salakia, it was maybe because black people, we have a problem forgiving people that are not ours.
Even though that is an issue, but the issue is because the Lord said to drive them out. Right? Continue reading.
Come. And the children of Benjamin did not drive out the Jebusites that inhabited Jerusalem. But the Jebusites dwell with the children of Benjamin in Jerusalem until this day.
So this is the problem. We are dwelling with these Jebusites when we were supposed to wipe them out. The Lord said to take these nations out and destroy them and utterly destroy them. Where can I find that precept? The Lord said to utterly destroy them. All right. Where can I find that at? You can find that in Deuteronomy chapter 7. Continue reading that. Oh, that's 21, right? That's what. Stop there. Let's get the rest of these verses. Start verse 22 in the Hebrew. Most High in Christ. Good reading now. Let's get verse Shanya Asherayim, which is verse 22 in the Hebrew. Waya'awa Yawasa Yawasa Gam Ham Ham Bayatha Slaki not Bayatha Bayaf Al Wayahawa Aimam. Verse Shalash Asherayim. All right. Wayatayara Slaki Wayatayarwa Bayat Yawasa Babaya Al Washam Ha'ayar Lapanyam Lawas. All right, verse 24. Wayara'awa Hayashamayim Ayash Yawataza'a Man Hayayar Waya'amarwa Lawa Hara'anwa Na'a Bamawa'a Ha'ayar wa Aishayan wa I am ka Khasad verse 25, verse Kamash Asherayim, like it. Verse Kamash Asherayim, verse 25 in the Hebrew. Like it. Wayara'am, like it. Wayara'am, like it. Mabawa'a, Ha'ayar, like it. Wayakuwa, like it. Wayakwa, Ha'ayar, Lapya, Harab, Wa'a, Ha'ayash, Wa'af, Kal, Masapakatwa, Shalakwa, verse Shasha Ishra, Wayalak, it's like it, Wayalak, Ha'ayash, Rakaza, Hakat, it's like it, Hakafyum, Wayaban, Ayar, Wayakara, it's like it, Wayakara, Shema, Lawaz, Laz, it's like it, Laz. All right, that's laws. Laws. Hawa Shema Ay Wayawam. What it's like it. Hayam. Hayawam. It's like it. Hayawam Hazah. Verse Shabai Asherayim. Verse 27. Wala'a Wamarash. It's like it. Hawarayash. Manasah. Manasah Bayak. Sha'an, Wa'af, Banawaf Yaha, Wa'af, the Ain Ka, Wa'af, Banaf, it's like Banaf Yaha, Wa'af, Yashabya, it's like Yashabya, Dawar, it's like Dor, Wa'af, Banawaf Yaha, Wa'af, Yawashabya, Yabala'ain. Yabal'ain. Yabal'an Wa'af. Banayatha Wa'af. Yawashabya. Magadwa Wa'af. Banawaf Yaha. Wayawal. It's like it. Wayawa'ala. Wayawa'ala. I'm saying that right. It's like Ya'al. Ya'al, Waya'al, Wayawa'al, Hakana'anya, Lashab, it's like it, Lashabah, Ba'arataza, Haza'ah. Let's get Shamar na Asherayim, verse 28 in the Hebrew. Wayahaya Kaya, Chazak, Yasha'ala, it's like it, Yasha'ala, Wayasham Ma'ah, Hakana'anya, Lamas, Wahawarayash, like it, Wahawarayash, La'at, Hawarayashwa. Right? We start at verse 22. Start at verse 22 in the English.
Come. This is the book of Judges, chapter 1, verse 22. In the house of Joseph, they also went up against Bethel, and the Lord was with them.
And the Lord was with Joseph. Right? The Lord was with Joseph. This is talking about Ephraim and Manasseh. All right, that's the house of Joseph right there. Those are the 12, one of the 12 tribes, one of the 12 tribes. Or I should say 2 out of the 12 tribes. You got Manasseh and you got Ephraim. That's the house of Joseph. Go ahead.
Verse 23. And the house of Joseph sent to desecrate Bethel.
It said what?
And the house of Joseph sent to desecrate Bethel.
Describe. I think you said it right. So like a desecrate. Bethel. Go ahead.
Come. Now the name of the city before was Luz.
Go ahead.
Verse 24. And the spies saw a man come forth out of the city.
Go ahead.
And they said unto him, shew us, we pray thee, the entrance into the city, and we will shew thee mercy.
So the spies went into that city and said, we're going to show you mercy. Go ahead.
Verse 25. And when he shewed them the entrance into the city, they smote the city with the edge of the sword. But they let go the man and all his family.
So they let go that one man, but the entire city was done. Go ahead.
Verse 26. And the man went into the land of the Hittites and built a city and called the name thereof Luz.
Go ahead.
Which is the name thereof unto this day.
So this is the name of the city to this day. Go ahead.
Verse 27. Neither did Manasseh drive out the inhabitants of Bethshan and her towns.
It said what?
Neither did Manasseh drive out the inhabitants of Bethshan and her towns.
Now Manasseh didn't drive out who they were supposed to drive out. Go ahead.
Come. Nor Tanakh and her towns.
Neither her towns. Go ahead.
Nor the inhabitants of Dor and her towns.
Neither her towns. Go ahead.
Nor the inhabitants of Ablim and her towns.
All right. Neither their towns either. Go ahead.
Nor the inhabitants of Megiddo and her towns.
Neither these towns either.
But the Canaanites would dwell in that
So
land.
these were Canaanites. They were living in that land, and we were supposed to drive out the Canaanites. All right. And the tribe of Manasseh took upon themselves to not do what the Lord said to do and drive them out. Go ahead.
Verse 28. And it came to pass when Israel was strong that they put the Canaanites to tribute and did not utterly drive them out.
And so it said, and it came to pass when Israel was strong, meaning we were in power, we were in charge, we were in control of that land. All right. And it said that they put the Canaanites to tribute. What does it mean to put them in tribute? You know what that means?
Lie.
Okay, I'll give you a definition of tribute. Let's get a definition of tribute. I'll look it up for you real quick. I want you to hold that. All right. So tribute, meaning something given or contributed voluntarily as due or deserved. Something such as material, evidence, or formal that indicates the worth, virtue, or fitness. Okay, let's get here we go. 2. A payment by one ruler or nation to another in the knowledge of submission or as the price of protection. All right, and there's phases to that. An excessive tax, rental, tariff imposed, whatever the case may be. So the Canaanites were at tribute, meaning they were giving us money. It could be monthly, it could be annually, it could be whatever the case may be. All right, but they were put in a position of tribute, meaning they were what in that land? They were second-class citizens, meaning we ruled over the Canaanites even though we did not drive them out. Now the order was still to drive them out of the land of Canaan, and none of these Canaanites were supposed to stay in this land. But even though when we did not take them out of the land, they were still under us. They were still under our rulership. They were under our authority. They were second-class citizens in our land because the Lord put us in charge. And that's a very key point. So I want you to start from the top of that verse, and I want you to read it out.
God. Verse 28. And it came to pass when Israel was strong that they put the Canaanites to tribute and did not utterly drive them out.
But they did not utterly drive them out. It was still a problem that the Israelites did not drive those Canaanites out. But I want y'all to understand the key point here as well is that they were not in charge of us. We were in charge of them. And they paid us tribute because we were in power and we were in charge. And the Lord wants that for us. The Lord wants Blacks and Latinos and Native Americans to be in charge. And when Christ returns, they're going to pay tribute to Israel. They're going to pay tribute to our King Yahweh Shai Mashiach in Hebrew. These other nations are going to have a wake-up call when Christ returns. And so will our people too. Our people will also have a wake-up call that they were supposed to be serving the Lord and the God of this Bible properly and not how the Christian church does. All right? So with that, I say Imadyam, which means to stand, just us, up here.
La Yasha.
La Yashal. This would be the time that the priests and the troopers and the young men would come up, all right, and the young soldiers that would come up, and they would salute the Torah, they would salute the Tanakh, which would be the scroll, all right. Amadim, which means to stand. That means now everyone can stand. All right. Also, when you want to stand, you want to always be in Amadim or Amadim Shabbat. You don't want to hold it out here. You want to get used to either Amadim or Amadim Shabbat. You know what I'm saying? All right. And we're going to get the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. All right. It's like Amadim or Yahak Wadam and face the east. All right. The east will be this way. And we're going to get the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. All right, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayat, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakufka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Hayat, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Hayat, Bashamayim, Natalanawa, Laham, Kau, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawaf Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawaf Yanawa, Wala'a, Dabaya'a Nawa, Banasayawan, Abo, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, right, Kayak, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatapara, La Awalamyam, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, and we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. We're going to do Hakak, the power in the Hebrew, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Baba Kwashah, Nathanawa, Hakak, Lara Pa'ah, Kal Makala, Wakal Marawa, Hakak, Latahar, Hamad Azariah, Hakak, Lahakoyim, Hamakyim, Hakak, Al-Wakawa, Hatama'ala, Lagavashan, Ba'ashim Yahushua, the water among. In the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the leprous, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew, Asha'a, Ayanya, All-Haharyam, Ma'ayan, Yaba'a, Isaiah, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'arataza, Al-Yatan, Lamawat, Regalika, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shawamor, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashamat, La'a, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makaurai, Yashamor, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamor, Tazahka, Wabawa'aka, Maita, Wa'ai, I will love Aman. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From which cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve
from
thee
all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in.
and thy coming
From
in.
this time forth
From this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
So be it.
So be it.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al damaya laka.
Al damaya laka.
Al the harash.
Al the karash.
Wa al tashakwat.
Wa al tashakwat.
Al
Al
kayahana.
kaya'ana.
Awayab yaka.
Awiyab
Yahama yawan.
Yahweh yawan.
Wama shanayaka.
Wama shanayaka.
Nasha awa.
Nasha'aw.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al imaka.
Al imaka.
Ya irayamwa.
Yam ayaram.
Sawad.
Sharad.
Wayata ya ay tazawa.
Wayata ya ay tazawa.
Al tazabawanyaka.
Al tazawamaka.
Amorwa.
Amorwa.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakidam.
Wanakaki.
Magoya.
Magoya.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yazakar.
Yazakar.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Shom yasha.
Aywad.
Aywad.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa ay tazawa.
Naya ay tazawa.
La.
La.
Yahadwa.
Lakad.
Awyaka.
Awi.
Barya.
Barya.
Yakarafwa.
Yakaraf.
Ahoya.
Ahoy.
Adawam.
Adawam.
Wajashama'ilaya.
Wamashamayayu.
Mawa'aba.
Mawa'ab.
Wahagariam.
Wagari.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa'amawad.
Wa'amalak.
Wa'amalak. Halashah. I'm the Shabia.
I'm the Shah.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gama Ashawar.
Gam Ashu.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Imam.
Amam.
Hayawa.
Hayu.
Zabawai.
Zabawai.
Labanya Lawat.
Labam Yulawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Aisha Laham.
Ashala.
Kamadyan.
Kamadi.
Kasaya Sara'a.
Kasaya Zazara.
Kasaya Sara'a.
Kasaya Saraya.
Kayabya.
Kayab.
Banakal.
Banakal.
Kawa. Zakit. Koyashwa.
Koyash.
Nashamadwa.
Nashamad.
Ba'ayanda Ara.
Bayaan Yadara.
Ba'ayanda Ara.
Bayaan Yadara.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Damad.
Yama.
La Adama.
La Yadam.
Shayathamwa.
Shilla Thumma.
Kan. Shayathamwa.
Shayathumma.
Narayamawa.
Nayabu.
Ka'ibra.
Kayara.
Wakaza'aba.
Kazaaba.
Wakazabak.
Wakazaba.
Wakazalmanai.
Wakazamana.
Hal.
Ka.
Nasayakamwa.
Nasa Yakamu.
Ashur.
Ashur.
Amarwa.
Amor.
Nayavasha.
Nayarasha.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Na'awa.
Naawa.
Alahaya.
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 Shayathamwa.
Shayathumma.
Kagalgala.
Kagalma.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapanya Raha.
Lapanya Laka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Zaba Iva ya Iva.
Daya Ayu Ba'ayu.
Wakalahaba.
Laka
Balahat.
Abba.
Haryam.
Hari.
Khan.
Khan.
Baradakma.
That
Basa Ivaka.
Basa Irika.
Wabasawapaka.
Wabba Subba Wakra.
Dab-
Papa.
Dabahalam.
Double alarm.
Mala'a.
Mala.
Panyaham.
Panya.
Kwalawad.
Kulawat.
Wayabakwashwa.
Wabba Yukwasha.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahweh.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Wayabahalwa.
Wayabahawa.
Aya Ay.
Ayai.
Wayahaparwa.
Wayakapawa.
Wayabadwa.
Wayabad.
Wayada'aiwa.
Wayadai.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Afa.
Ata.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahweh.
Labarka.
Labarka.
Al Yawan.
Al Yawan.
Al
Al.
Kal.
Kal.
Rataza.
Rakaza.
Aman.
Amon.
In the English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace,
Hold not thy peace.
and be not still, O Yahweh.
And be not still, O
For
Yahweh.
lo,
For lo,
thy enemies make a tumult,
thy enemies make that tumult.
and they that hate thee
And they that hate thee
have lifted up their head.
have lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
They have taken crafty counsel against thy
and
people.
consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation,
and let us cut them off from being a nation.
that the name of Israel
The name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
But they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against
The
thee.
tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites,
and the
of
Ishmaelites,
Moab,
of Moab,
and the Hagarene,
and the Hagarene,
the Baal,
the Baal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the
the
Philistines,
Philistines,
with inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Asher also is joined with them.
Asher also is joined with them.
They have opened the children of Lot,
They have opened the children of life.
Salah,
Salah.
do unto them,
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as unto
as
Sisera,
to Jabin,
as unto Jabin,
at the brook of Kasai, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make the nobles like Oreb and like Zeeb. Yea, all their princes, as Zabah and as Amunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses, take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. Oh my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth for wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded, in trouble forever. Yea, let them be put to shame, and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. So be it. We're going to get blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shai. Wa Mayaka'ala. Wa Alahayim. Matazab Ya'ah. Alawat Yahana. Ha Alawatiyam. Ha Saranyam. Ha Kudazayanyam. Ha Khayayayam. Ha Slagi Wa Ha Agwafyam. Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, the water of man. In the English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushua, and Mike, and the angel, commanding, General Yohana, the general, the captain, the officer, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. Let's get the prayer of the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force the riches to enter thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments are enemies, Amalek, synagogues, and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Egyptology, Aryan Nation, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street. Open up the internet and the airwaves, the cable access channel, and the radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction. So all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Let loose all the plagues. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh shine. Michael and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathen that come up against us. And we speak thy word. Cause it to be known that it is like it. Cause it to be known by all. That is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media, throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua, thank you always. So be it. Let's get blessed Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, Barak Lanawa, Wa Yasha'ala, Wahab Bayasaparia, Barak, Rapah, Hagun, by Hashem Yahushua, the water of month. What we just said, just me, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones in the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it. Sar, which means to turn. Yeshavia, for the sisters only. The sisters can now be seated. All right. Men of Israel, we're going to give a curse salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Amadim Shabbat, Amadim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah, Yadim Matah, Sar La Agwakia, Amadim, which means to stand for the sisters. Men of Israel, we're going to give a curse salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amadim Shabbat, Amadim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alathan Bashim Yahushua, Yadim Matah. Sorry, return. With that, class dismissed.